Hello, everyone. I'm Joseph Giarraputo, founder and editorial director of Global Finance, speaking in New York. Welcome to our interview with Mr. Mudassir Amray, the CEO and managing director of Nigeria's Titan Trust Bank, coming from Lagos. Titan Trust only had its banking license since 2019, but is already shaking up the market with aggressive organic growth and a newly announced acquisition of Union Bank, one of the country's oldest banks. Mr. Amray, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Joseph. Pleasure to see you again.
Okay.
Second year in a row.
Second
It's
year in a
very
row.
pleasing for
Congratulations
us.
on that. All right.
Thank
Um,
you.
Titan Trust has been named Global Finance's best trade finance bank in Nigeria for the second year. What do you think it takes to be effective in providing trade finance products and services to customers, particularly with the global challenges you've faced since the bank's launch?
Of course, last year when we were named to be the best trade finance provider, we were very excited because it was first 12 months of our operation, and we thought that it's we have achieved what we wanted. We only realized that it basically increased the expectations of our client, and therefore this year was even tougher in terms of meeting the those high expectations. But gladly, I'm very pleased, and we are very excited to have been nominated and selected even for the second year in a row. Now, on the trade side, if you look at it globally, there are three basic problems today, right? One is inflation. Second is your supply disruptions, is still supply chain disruption, and third is logistic. These three problems still prevail, and probably to some extent it has exaggerated or it has increased in 2021 versus 2020. Now, what can you do, right? So you can't, sitting at a country level, you can't solve a global inflation problem, you can't solve global logistics problem, you can't solve supply chain disruptions globally. But what you can do is that you can help your clients to with the speed, because what speed does is it reduces volatility. So at least you help in that extent and reduce their volatility. Now, in terms of enhancing our capacity, global reach, we worked a lot last year in terms of increasing our reach to the suppliers. So we added new correspondent banks, lines, etc., etc. Plus, we enhanced our capacity to bridge the gap, to bridge the liquidity gap, right? Which most of the importers and traders suffer in the local market. They needed certain bridge because of the sourcing, FX sourcing mechanism that we have. So, since we increased that capacity by mobilizing or diversifying our liquidity sources, that also helped. To a combination of two, three things, plus, of course, service improvements, turnaround improvement. As I said, the speed is key to reduce the risk and volatility in the market for our traders. So, I think all of that helped.
What are the greatest banking challenges in your region? And is the pandemic continuing to have an impact?
Definitely continues. And when you look at numbers, you will always see X positive number a day, right? But when you look in the society, I think Nigeria and I think its neighboring countries, they have learned to live with it. So there is no, I would say, close downs or close down of the economy or as such. However, still the globally we see that impact, and as I said, it has impacted in terms of the prices, in terms of logistics, in terms of logistics prices. Freight, etc., have doubled, tripled. Let alone how difficult it is to get a container today. So all those issues have caused imported inflation in countries like Nigeria, right? And of course, that has caused further problems in terms of demand and in terms of the buying power of people, etc. So, from a banking perspective, of course, the challenge is that in such volatility, you have to select the right people, the right companies to lend, right? Because bank is in a lending business. We have to take exposure, but we need to be more selective. We need to be more strategic in terms of which sector we go into and which name we go with.
As Nigeria's newest bank, Titan Trust depends on technology and its digital platform for competitive advantages. How is that going?
Without that, we couldn't have survived for the last 2 years in pandemic, right? It is only because of digital that we continued our services without any disruption. We were able to onboard new clients. We were able to reach wider market. We were able to, provide all the services as normal, despite of whatever lockdown period that we saw shortly in 2020 and some parts of 21. Um, but still, I think there is a lot to do, right? And we are continuing to invest in digital. We will continue to invest in, I would say, more strategic products than everything, because digital has become very complicated, especially with the inclusion of all these fintechs, right? So in some of the products, I would say fintechs have made their presence felt because of the pricing model that they have and because of the business model that they have. So they have challenged banks in terms of few products. And therefore, bank needs to be more selective and more strategic where to compete and where to diversify. So I think, as I said, we are continuing to invest in digital, but very selectively and strategically.
We talked about Titan Trust's recent announcement about acquiring Union Bank. Can you tell us something about Union Bank and how it fits into your growth strategy?
Yes, thanks. And it's very interesting how it came about. So, look, we were on the organic growth path, and we had a very clear strategy how and where, what speed we want to grow into. However, we were keeping our eyes and ears open for opportunities. Now, this was a unique opportunity. Unlike all other previous M&As, banking sector M&As in Nigeria, this was a very different M&A, where you have a healthy, functional, very well run bank versus all the previous M&As, which were either a bailout package or something where the bank had a problem. Here, bank had no problem. The only reason the opportunity came up because the existing shareholders of Union Bank have now probably other priorities, right? And they have other commitments outside the country, and therefore we got an opportunity to step in. So we believe that we were very lucky. Now, how it helps us? Of course, it gives us a scale and it gives us a larger platform very quickly. We could have achieved the same thing in the next 10 years, maybe, or I don't know, maybe longer, right? Which we will get now. And in terms of, even I would say, culture wise, it's we know that Union is very well professionally run bank. They have a highly capable team. Their IT platform is very good. It's a modern bank. They have invested a lot in the last 7 8 years in terms of turning around and modernizing the bank. So we believe it's a very very great, a good platform, and our integration etc. will be seamless.
What's next on the horizon for Titan Trust?
2022 is going to be a year of growth plus, I would say, consolidation. Consolidation in terms of both institutions, because at some point we will merge during the year, not immediately, but sometime during the year, of course, we will merge. So, in terms of HR integration, systems, operations, etc., that's given this difference in size, and of course, Union is like about 15 times of Titan. So that should be seamless the way we are looking at it. However, the challenging part is to maintain the same growth that we both have envisaged. So Union has its own target and budget for 2022, and Titan has its both. So our challenge is to deliver on both, despite of this integration and merger and whatever process that we will go during the year. And then next year, of course, then we have different plans in terms of maybe not mid, but I would say maybe second quarter 23 or first quarter 2024. Then we will be looking at within Africa, other places outside domestic. But as I said, it's still few months away.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mr. Amray, thank you very much for your comments. Wish you well.
Thank you very much for having me.